pulled off the side of the trail here. I wanted to show you guys something. The top of this mountain. Yeah, I'll show it and then I'll describe it. Hopefully you can see that well enough. It just looks like the whole top half of that mountain busted off and slid down. There's it's bare rock, and there's a lot of that around here, and it just looks like a huge rock slide, avalanche, fall, and that kind of stuff. But it's really neat looking, and again, I hope you can see it close enough on the video here that it has that effect. But it's really cool. Cheers. Excuse me. Not bad manners, that's good beer. Nice for drinking of. Fist City Chicago Pale Ale by Revolution Brewing. I think I've mentioned these before. I picked this up at the Schnucks in O'Fallon, Illinois before I left. And they're good beers. They're hoppy, but they're good. A lot of flavor. They go great with Doritos out on the trail. Trust me. Nope, this way. This way. If you're going to be the trailblazer, you got to stay on the trail. Go on. Ooh, man, look at that. Oh, wow. There's still some snow and glaciers up on the tops of some of those peaks. I think some of these get over 6,000 feet. I was looking at a topographic map the other day, and they're over 2,000 meters, and I think, you know, meters like what, 3.3 feet. So there's some of the mountains that are a little closer to us. Those are actually just south of the campground there. I don't know if you can see it, there's a big scree field right in there. Beautiful day. What you think, Bernie? Liking this hiking stuff? You're just moseying along. She's really a good girl. She does so well out on a trail like this. Took her hiking when I was in North Carolina, and she did real well. Got a little burn area here. There's some trees have come down, and I don't know if they do controlled burns here or they're natural, but you can see evidence of burns all over the place, and they're usually low intensity burns. I mean, they just look like, you know, ground fire stuff. What's the matter, Bernadette? Getting hot? I don't think we got too much far to go. Oh, well, we're almost back now. That went pretty quickly. Right now, you can see this is actually an old wagon trail that back in the 1800s they found gold up in here, and they were doing a lot of mining and stuff, and they built this wagon trail to haul supplies, workers, you know, whatever it might be, through these mountains. And there are vestiges of this trail still, and Bernie and I are standing on it right now, and you can definitely tell it was a wagon trail. They're, you know, slightly rutted and everything still, but it took a lot of work, a lot of hard work to cut this trail through these mountains, and I'm sure there's some pretty big ups and downs. And if you can just imagine doing that kind of work back 150 years ago, when it was all manual, and these were wagons being pulled by horses and oxen, and in some cases they were pulling some big loads through these mountains. That would not have been fun at all, but they did it. And this wagon trail actually used to stretch for, I don't know, I think they said close to 100 miles, you know, 140, 150 kilometers, something like that, through these mountains. So kind of neat that there's still some of it left. It runs, if you go that way, it actually runs back to the campground that I'm staying at, and that's the way we're going to take back. But if you go the other way, it goes to some of the towns around here, Lighton and some other towns. So pretty neat to be standing where people and wagons and stuff like that trod 150 years ago. Don't get a chance to do that every day. So I was ready to head back for the campground, but Bernie wasn't done yet. She wanted to go the other way on the old wagon train trail, so we did that because she's the boss. And came across this old pioneer picnic table. Who'd have thunk they'd have been having picnics out here? Check this out. And here's here you can see a little better the side of that mountain. It just looks like it's sheared off there. This is for Joe Fromm, but they actually the CN, the Canadian National Railroad, runs down through this area. You know, they follow, well, the road was built along the road, and the railroad tracks were built along the river, getting through the mountains here. And they have huge rock slides, as you can imagine, through here. So they've actually built these uber strong shed coverings over the tracks, so in rock slide areas, so that when they have that problem, the rocks you know, don't end up piled up on the railroad tracks. They skim over the shed roof line to avoid that. But I thought you'd find that interesting, being a railroad man, how they have to do things out here in the mountains. Being a track inspector would be a whole different game out here, bro. But man, you'd sure see some wonderful country in the process. Beautiful. You want to know what I'm doing when I'm not doing anything? I'm editing video. and I've got a lot to edit. I'm trying to get caught up. Keeping up isn't even an option, but you know, I'm chilling out for several days here at Skihist Provincial Park, and just got back from the hike a little while ago. Really nice hike. It was shorter than I thought it would be. I don't know, just seemed longer. I'm not good at figuring things out in kilometers and stuff like that yet. But anyway, we got back sooner than I thought, and so I'm just sitting here enjoying a beer and doing a little video editing, and it takes a while to do. I'm getting a little better at it. I'm figuring out, you know, how to do things to speed up the process of editing and everything, but I won't be able to upload anything while I'm here because I'm roaming. I'm not picking up Verizon services in Canada. I'm picking them up from other carriers, and I'm actually getting pretty good service right here, but I can't imagine what my Verizon bill is going to be at the end of this cycle after all these roaming charges and stuff. So I'm going to wait till I get back into Washington over this upcoming weekend, and I should have a couple of, at least 2 more videos to upload at that point. I hope I get another one done here this afternoon, and that'll make 2 that I've got ready to go. So they got very good bandwidth at that on Wi-Fi at that place I'm going to stay in Washington. I'm actually going to go back to the place that I was before I crossed over into Canada. It was a nice little park, you know, reasonably priced. Showers were clean, and had very, very high bandwidth Wi-Fi, so I'm going to take advantage of that and stay Friday evening, Saturday, and Sunday morning, and then I'll hit the road from there Sunday morning. Don't know where I'm going yet. I'd kind of hope to go over to the coast and run down the coast of Washington and Oregon. I will still do that if I have time, but I've got about 3 weeks, and I want to get home, so I got to figure out what all I can do in 3 weeks without having to just drive my butt off for the last, you know, 4 or 5 days to get home. So I want to say cheers to my buddy Greg Bickers. Really, really happy for you, man. Love you. Good news. Wish you well. And I'm just going to enjoy the afternoon here. It's pleasant in the shade. The sun, when you're out in the sun, it's pretty warm, but because the humidity's low here right now, at least in the shade, it's very pleasant. So I'm not sweating a bit, sitting out here putting together videos and enjoying a cold beer. Cheers.